Hi Richard, thanks for requesting the free website review video. I'll jump straight in. So first thing we check is the mobile test and page speed. Obviously most people are mobile friendly now, so that's not really what we check for. We're checking for the speed of the site loading on mobiles. Just because this is obviously very important now, because more people are visiting the site on mobile and tablet. Probably about 60%, 65, 70% maybe in some circumstances, depending on the industry. But yeah, it seems to be pretty good. It loads within 5 seconds on a 3G connection, which is obviously the slowest connection on a mobile now. So there is room for improvement. Google say that you're probably losing, I can't remember what it said actually, was it about 15-18% maybe of your visitors because they won't wait 5 seconds? I think most people would, if I'm honest, but there is room to improve that, and sometimes it is really, it's such a quick fix and such a cheap fix that it's worth getting it down to 3 seconds. Obviously the quicker it loads, the better experience your users are getting. The happier they are. You're not sat there waiting around, and as you know, everyone's time sensitive now, so it is important. You can check this out for yourself as well. Testmysite.withgoogle.com, and obviously put your domain in, and then you can actually get the full report from them as well. So that's actually not too bad. The next one is SSL certificate, which is a big thing now. Google are rolling out an update as we speak. So this section here next to the domain is going to say secure or not secure. At the minute it's just an I in the browser, but it is going to start saying not secure. I'll show you what a website looks like with secure. The green padlock, and also they're going to start showing it in the search engine. So if somebody searched, for instance, security company in Leeds, and obviously you come up here, it's going to start showing not secure and secure next to the domain in red and green. So obviously if your competitor says secure and yours says not secure, they're going to always click the secure website. So that's something to look at. It's not expensive again, depending on who you're hosting with. We can obviously help with that as well and give you the most competitive quote for that, because we have quite a lot of providers that can help with that. Next thing is GDPR, just the legal compliance of the data. Your site isn't compliant, so what that means is you need a pop-up cookie box to say accept with the cookie policy, and you also need obviously privacy policy, cookie policy, terms and conditions in the footer. That's the best place to have them. Again, we do have all these policies for you if you need them. You can go and get them obviously drafted for yourself, which would be much more expensive. And even your current web developer, I mean, really, they should have been in touch, and the update came on the 25th of May. So really, they should have been in touch. That's what we did with our clients. We obviously sent an email out to them all, the ones that didn't currently have the correct policies in place. So if you need any help with that, again, all you've got to do is send me an email after this video, and we'll send you a price for that if you want a quote for that. The next thing is conversion optimization. Now this is the best bit for me. This is my favourite part, because I help businesses obviously change their websites into a proper lead generation machines. So this might obviously be getting you inquiries at the minute, but just by implementing some of these things, you would definitely increase your conversions very noticeably. The first one is a live chat facility. It's not for everyone, but it is brilliant, because a lot of people, when they're looking for a company that provides your kind of services, they've probably got a few questions, and if they can't find the answers to the questions and they don't want to ring you up, I'd say half of people will call you and half won't. They'll probably either fill in the contact form, but if you've got to leave a message or an obviously live chat online facility, such as this. It says chat with us, and you can click it and obviously enter the message. Again, these are very inexpensive things to have on your website, which will increase conversions. The next one is social proof. So obviously, if you are, depending on your client base, so obviously if it's more B2C, so business to customers obviously, then Facebook is good for that, collecting reviews there. I always say you should be collecting them on Facebook and Google, and if you can, one of the other review platforms such as Trustpilot or reviews.co.uk, because obviously it just gives it that much more credibility. If in here it says obviously 5 out of 5 stars with Trustpilot, or 5 out of 5 stars with Facebook, Google, whatever, obviously that just gives it an element of credibility straight away, and without them having to find the testimonials that are on the website. I can't actually see any on yours. You do obviously have these clients. I'm going to touch on this in a minute in terms of the design and how you could add to that. But real looking testimonials on websites, obviously you'll know that the conversions are going to increase with that. Next one is lead magnets. So what these are to collect email addresses. So basically, there are a load of different ideas for lead magnets. Basically, it's a pop-up that obviously pops up on the site. People can just click them off if they don't want to obviously fill in their email address. But you always have a little saying to say, we will not sell on your email address. We'll only contact you, with new products or services, or with any information that you might be interested in once a month or something like that. But you should always be trying to collect email addresses and building your email database, because it's basically it's kind of you keeping in the forefront of your potential customers' minds, really, because if they visited like 3 or 4 websites, but they've got this lead magnet that's popped up. So for instance, I'll just give you an idea. This company here, they have Essential Guide to Internet Marketing, and people are able to obviously have a read and take some things away from that. With security, you'd have to be quite creative with a lead magnet, but basically it's like an offer or answering a question to a problem, a free guide, and things like that. So we would be able to come up with quite a few ideas if we was able to speak to you and get like a key demographic of your perfect client, and then we'd be able to go from there with that. I think I mentioned the reviews. In terms of collecting the reviews, I have looked at your listing on Google. You're not in the top 3 of my Google Maps anyway. I don't know whether that's because obviously I'm based in Bury in Manchester. But if you search security company in Leeds from your office and you're not in this top 3, then obviously you're missing out on quite a lot of business. And we're able to get you in there. And again, with the reviews, I know you do have a few reviews on Google there. And again, it pulls them in from all the other platforms as well, if you were to get those. And also, when you get a few more reviews, we're able to put some code into the site which will then show the review. So if they landed here now, it would have the stars in this listing here as well. So we can help with that too. Next thing is video. So you might, obviously, everyone thinks video is expensive, but it's not nowadays. So if you want a video making for the site, that increases conversions. It depends on the industry, but from like 20 to 30% in some instances. Because people obviously just prefer watching video rather than reading a load of information. You're able to get all of this information into a video, into a 30-second video, where they get all of this information rather than having to read through it all. The next thing I'd say for the design of the site is this client section. It's just, this is what all your competitors will be doing. And although it does look good that you've worked with all these brands, anyone could kind of stick these logos in. There's no real proof that you do work with them brands. I'm not obviously saying you don't. I'm confident that you do, but ideally, there should be a case study section for each one of these clients to say exactly what you did for them. because obviously the more information that you can provide in terms of what you've done for a certain company, they've seen that you've met that company's needs, and obviously each one of these companies have probably had different needs that you needed to meet. So they will read through the kind of work that you've done for them to see if you are a good fit. So for me, that's a good idea to add that into the site. And again, it wouldn't be expensive to add that in. The next thing is Albacross. Now, this is a third-party software that you can install in the back end of your website. And basically what it does is it picks up the information of people that have visited your site and left without taking action. So this can be obviously incredibly powerful to pick up those extra leads whereby they might not have found the information, but you can contact them within kind of 15-20 minutes of them leaving the site to ask them, we noticed you visited our website. Can we help you with anything? We're sorry that you left. And obviously you can see how powerful that can be again to increase leads to the site. The next one is Hotjar. Now this is kind of a lot more advanced to test. If you don't feel your website's working as well as it could be, it's probably because the information that's on there isn't set out in a way that is best suited for the client journey and the user experience. Most web designers, when they're designing websites, they don't take into account user experience. They take into account to please you in terms of the design, which is totally the wrong way to design a website. I've seen websites that don't look the best, but the information is laid out in a way that converts much better than a website that looks, amazing to us as business owners. But you've got to try and move away from that because you're the business owner, so you look at your website in a different way than a potential client. Again, these things are not expensive at all. They don't have to be all done at once, but they are, vital tools if you want to increase the conversions on your website. This Hotjar basically provides heat maps and kind of scribble maps to see where people, when they land on the website, to see where they go straight away, to see what they look at, the pieces of information. So obviously you can see exactly what they're doing and obviously move the information around to provide a better user experience. That's the very basic way of explaining it. It is a little bit more advanced than that, and obviously we're fully trained up to use that. So that's it really. I hope you've found it informative and interesting. If you want to contact me, you've obviously got my email address. You can check my website out. And if you've got any questions or you want any more information, just fire us an email and I'll speak to you again. Cheers, mate.